Welcome to the Now. I'm Ashley Jenkins.
I'm John Rising.
Behold, Lord Gabe Newell has spoken once and for all about Counter-Strike global offensive gambling, and lo, he smote his enemies with a glorious banhammer.
Amen.
Amen.
After weeks
Hallelujah.
of progressively more ridiculous scandals involving streamers, hacked Skype logs, illegal winnings, and possibly even money laundering in the Counter-Strike community, Valve is now officially cracking down on gambling websites.
The news hit yesterday when skink gambling website CSGO Big posted that they'd received a cease and desist letter from Valve. According to the letter, Valve sent these notices out to 23 websites in total, threatening to shut them down if they didn't comply with its orders. Which, don't the orders basically say shut down?
Yeah, can't they just pull the plug or something?
I mean,
I guess it's their own sites.
Anyway, that's...
Let's just talk about this for another 5 minutes. The letter was sent out by Valve's general counsel, Carl Quackenbush.
Best name of all time.
Best lawyer name, who has one of the greatest things we've ever gotten to say in a news story. Yeah, I even got before we got to the prompter.
My hope, I asked Eddy earlier, and we'll see if this bears out, to put the word Quackenbush throughout the news story as many times as possible.
He sounds like a character from DuckTales.
And here we go. Quackenbush wrote, "Dear sirs, we are aware that you are operating one of the gambling sites listed below. You are using Steam accounts to conduct this business."
Quackenbush's letter then outlined that we keep saying Quackenbush.
Yes!
Quackenbush's letter then outlined that this action is a specific violation of the Steam subscriber agreement and that it is totally not cool with the folks at Valve.
It went on to say, "You should immediately cease and desist further use of your Steam accounts for any commercial purpose. If you fail to do this within 10 days, Valve will pursue all available remedies, including, without limitation, terminating your accounts." Oh, that sounds serious.
Also, they'll get what's the Blather and Blathers guy? What was his name?
Quackenbush?
No, in DuckTales. What was the Gizmo Duck? You'll get Gizmo Duck on you. Signed, Carl Quackenbush, whose name will continue to find excuses to say in this read because it's awesome.
It's the best name. Included in Quackenbush's list of 23 sites that are totally getting that Valve banhammer are CSGO Lotto, there's a surprise, and CSGO Wild, oh, there we go, which have both been implicated as part of streamer scandals over the last few weeks. One Dota 2 gambling website, and most concerning for viewers of CSGO esports matches, CSGO Lounge, but more on that one later.
This quacktastic Quackenbush correspondence was first hinted at in a post from Valve just over a week ago when Valve's Eric Johnson,
Not
who doesn't
nearly
have a
as
good
cool a
name,
name.
no, even though it's a penis, it doesn't work, posted a blog about the recent gambling issues.
Johnson was incredibly quick to dismiss Valve's involvement with CSGO gambling, writing, "We'd like to clarify that we have no business relationships with any of these sites. We have never received any revenue from them, and Steam does not have a system for turning in-game items into real-world currency."
He went on to warn any site involved with CSGO gambling that using the OpenID API and making the same web calls as Steam users to run a gambling business is not allowed by our API nor our user agreements. We're going to start sending notices to these sites requesting they cease operations through Steam and further pursue the matters as necessary.
Wow, so Valve is a lot better about
Bringing
following
the
up
law.
on their word about CSGO gambling than they are about Half-Life. Good to know. Good to know.
We're never getting that fucking game.
You were almost going to say too soon because it's not too soon.
We're never getting the game. We're not getting it. Although, to be fair, the follow-through probably has just a little bit to do with the bad press they've gotten about the numerous scandals involving prominent CSGO streamers, plus the class action lawsuit against the company. Those things have a way of lighting a fire under your ass.
Yeah, probably the class action against Valve specifically. Last month, Valve got hit by a class action lawsuit from one gamer who said that the company is allowing underage gambling to run rampant in their community and are knowingly and indirectly making money from it. Considering CSGO became immediately more popular following the introduction of skins back in 2011, the lawsuit does have some interesting points.
So all this negative attention on Valve, who's been fined to profit on the community's obsession with gambling skins for years, means they're acting fast to disassociate themselves before anyone starts pointing fingers and saying the company's been complicit.
The big question now, besides whether or not Valve is going to get hit with criminal charges, is what this is going to do to Counter-Strike's esports viewership. The game saw a rise in popularity over the last couple of years, but the latest ESL 1 major, which hit within days of the initial Team Martin and Syndicate CSGO Lotto scandal, unfortunately for them, saw a huge drop-off in numbers.
With gambling sites getting shut down, those numbers will probably only get worse. One of the most troubling sites on the list in Valve's letter was none other than CSGO Lounge, which has directly contributed to viewership growth for CSGO.
Yeah, CSGO Lounge is primarily a trading site where players get together to swap skins. However, it does have a gambling component as well, which worked a little bit differently than many of the other gambling sites we've been talking about here.
For the most part, CSGO skins are gambled like a casino slot machine system. Players pool their skins together and one lucky player wins the whole pot, with a cut going to the site off the top. However, CSGO Lounge was a peer-to-peer betting system that actually created viewer involvement with esports matches.
Yeah, with Lounge, gamers wager skins on the outcome of CSGO matches. So if you think Navi is going to beat Fnatic, you throw in a cheap skin. If you're right, you win some skins from the losers. If you're wrong, the winners get your skins.
That does just sound like a bookie.
I mean, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that system actually helped CSGO start hitting huge numbers because fans got to have a tiny stake in the outcome of even the most mundane mid-level events. Kind of like how fantasy football gets people interested in random games they'd otherwise ignore. Kind of like when I play fantasy football and I don't give a flying fuck about football.
Right, exactly. It gets you involved in an entire sport.
Yeah.
One recent report from Esports Betting Reports seemed to find a direct correlation with skin betting on CSGO Lounge to match viewership. The more activity on Lounge, the more people were watching matches. And another report from Naris Advisors showed that as much as $3 billion worth of skins are exchanged this way.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, keeping in mind that it's all fake money because they're not worth money, but they're worth money. It's really hard to get the money back out, but they have a value.
Okay.
It's weird.
Can we fix the economy with CSGO skins?
Well, Steam is apparently working on that.
So this is probably going to be a huge blow to viewer involvement with future CSGO events and will really hurt low-level teams and their exposure. The only alternative to this is traditional sports betting, which does exist legally in some territories for esports, but those require much larger bets. With CSGO Lounge, players could toss a weapon skin worth just a few cents if they want it.
And also, most legal betting requires you to be of age.
Yeah.
Whereas Skins hasn't had any of that. It's more likely that sites like Lounge and others will remove the gambling aspect from their site and focus simply on trading. But who knows how long that'll even last, given what's happening to the value of skins on Steam's marketplace.
Which has already seen a stock market like crash after the first announcement from Valve last week. OP Skins, where you can sell skins for real money, did a report in the aftermath of Valve's blog post about cracking down on gaming. In it, they saw a huge drop-off in the value of some of the game's most popular items because gamers were offloading all of their skins out of fear the market would bottom out.
And that's how underage people learned about stock markets.
Yeah.
They found out that many items dropped as much as 10 to 13% in value within 12 hours of Valve's announcement. The values eventually leveled out, but the news of all these sites probably closing down gonna upset it more.
We'll have to see whether they actually shut down or not. So far, a number of sites have said they're going to comply with Valve's regulations, which are primarily about using the Steam API for commercial profit. These gambling sites, if they want to survive, will have to figure out a way to accomplish the same thing without tapping the Steam API, which will probably be a little bit difficult without going to even shadier legal territory.
Nonetheless, suspect this is the finishing blow to this particular black market economy, and full economy it is. We got stock markets, we got gambling.
Wait till Matthew McConaughey and Leonardo DiCaprio get involved in this.
Then it's gonna get hot. And Valve may have finally got itself into the clear legally by distancing itself once the heat started up. So they've got Quackenbush, if they haven't.
Quackenbush!
We need to get our own Quackenbush.
What do you guys think about the end of Counter-Strike's illegal gambling? Will it rise again? Let us know in the comments and tell us all about Quackenbush.
Yeah, for future updates on Valve Marketplace's gone wrong, anything to do with Quackenbush, like this video, subscribe to the know.
Quackenbush!
I want a Quackenbush of my very own.
I feel like we can make a toy out of this guy. Like a Quackenbush.
Is it a duck peeking
It's
out of
a
bush?
duck with a lawyer suit on is what it is. With the
Peeking out of a
bush.
bush?
He's got a bush, yeah. After weeks of progressively more ridiculous scandals involving streamers, hacked Skype logs, illegal winnings, and possibly even money evening, I'll just do that again.
Quackenbush wrote, "Dear sirs, we are aware that you are operating." Wait, do we have to do like a?
Do not do a duck voice. Don't do a duck voice.
Okay.
I know your brain is like thinking of that. Don't do it.
It's more likely that sites like Lounge and others are going to remove the ask. It's much more likely
they're going to remove the ask.
ask.
Gotta remove that ask.
And then what fun is left?